Now I'm going to demonstrate the how I made those previous tables that I demonstrated in Access. And so I'm going to start by going through and deleting all of these tables. Now you'll notice when I click delete and the table is open, I will get this warning box that says you cannot delete this object while it is open. So we're going to close it. And we're going to close all of these. And then I'm going to go through and delete all these tables in the database. And by deleting these tables, we're deleting relationships, we're deleting reports. You typically do not want to delete tables. In order to import these tables from the Excel document that we've made, we're going to have to locate this Excel document on our hard drive and then import each table sheet by sheet. So we click on the External Data tab and we click on this Excel import icon. We're going to select the data sheet. We're going to click OK. The worksheets that we want are already named Students, Faculty, Classroom, Courses, Assignments. So first we're going to have to do the Students table, and then I'm going to do the Faculty table, and then I'm just going to skip all the rest and not show that to you. So for the Students table, we'll go ahead and click Next. And this right here shows that the first row contains column headings. If we didn't want this to happen, we would have to go in and manually make the column headings, and then student ID would actually be a record in the table. But we have organized our Excel document so that the first row are column headings. So we're going to click that checkbox and allow it to make the column headings for us. And then you can go through each of the fields and determine what type of data type it is. You'll notice that numbers are mostly doubles. This can store a larger amount of doubles or a larger amount of numbers. The words are typically text, and then if we want to look at a few other ones, we could probably even do the credits in integers, since most students still get higher than a certain number, but yeah, there's a lot of data types we can choose. For the sake of this course, we're just going to let Access choose what data types each of our fields should be. Now this is an important step. For this, I have specifically made the student ID be the primary key of this table. Access defaults to let it add a primary key to each of these records, but instead we're going to choose my own primary key and choose student ID. And we're going to just say that the name is students table in the same way that it was in the Excel document. So it is now imported, and if we updated this Excel document and wanted to import it over and over and over again, we could save those import steps, but because we're going to do slightly different variations, we're not going to save those steps. And now we have our students table back. So I'm going to go a little bit faster this time and import a faculty table. I'll browse down to the tables for database. I will import a database. I'm going to do the faculty. I'm going to click next. First row is the columns. Alright, this table has extra fields because the Excel document wasn't formatted correctly, or it detects some sort of thing in the F fields. And so I'll show you how to deal with this. So we'll just click next, and we'll say do not import these fields. You'll notice they're blank. let's see how far it goes. Okay, there's quite a few of them. It's probably just from moving data around. But I'm going to let it import 2 of them to show another way to deal with this, but in this case, we're going to not import these blank fields that we did not intend. And we're going to choose my own primary key again, because the faculty ID will be the key to relate faculty to courses and to assignments. Alright, and we're going to call it the faculty table and be done. And when we open it, we'll see these fields here. We can just select them and then select delete. Or we can right click and delete the field, or we can just hit delete on the keyboard. Now I'm going to go through and just import the rest of the tables, but I'm going to cut this out. Alright, now I've imported all 5 of the tables. We're going to go to database tools, and now we're going to make relationships, just as I demonstrated before, between the tables and then using their foreign keys to connect one table to another. So if we go to database tools and relationships, we'll see that right now none of these are related to each other at all. And assignments has to relate to course ID. So all we have to do to relate the two is to select the field that we're relating, click and drag it to the other table, and it'll automatically it'll go where we try to drop it in. So in this case, it's trying to guess that we want to relate the course ID from assignments to the faculty ID of courses. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. So please note, when you select it and drag it over, you have to drop it on top of the field that you want it to relate to. So see, we want the course ID of courses to be related to the course ID of assignments. We want the student ID of assignments to be related to the student ID of students. And in courses, we want the classroom ID of courses to relate it to classroom ID in classrooms. And we want the faculty ID to relate it to the faculty ID in the faculty table. Alright, and there we have the relationships once again. Now if we wanted to add a new record here, we would click on this row and we would be able to put a new student in with a certain student ID. So I'm just going to make one up. And we'll put in a first name and a last name. So I have 200 credits. I'm majoring in computer science. And I'm not in a sport. So once you've entered all the fields, you've just created a new record. You can add a column as well, but you have to choose which type of column. So let's say we'll create a column that determines if the students have completed their undergraduate degree yet. So undergraduate, and most of these students that have over 120 credits have completed their undergraduate and are doing advanced courses. So we can create a new column, but when we do, we have to demonstrate, we have to tell Access what type of information it's recording. We can create a new row. In Access, this is called a record, but we have to fill in each one of the fields that relate to a specific instance of a student. So each one of these is an example of one student. And in order to have a complete record, we need all of these fields filled in. In the next video, I'll be taking a look at queries and how to use those successfully to pull data out of different tables and to combine tables and to just access data in Access 2010.